No lawyer in Connecticut would ever do what I'm doing in the federal case with Judge Meyer because they would be shot, I am told, by numerous lawyers who are contacting me. So, when I play this next video, you should take it to heart. Take it to heart. Okay? So, take this to heart.
So we'll find out. But I wanted to recap for people who might not understand. But the Department of Homeland Security came into being with the passage of the Homeland Security Act in November 2002. It is a standalone cabinet level department to coordinate and unify Homeland Security efforts. And let's see now.
And the U.S. DHS Senate Subcommittee Chair is my Senator, Chris Murphy, who has committed treason multiple times, even by threatening the Ukraine president that if Biden was investigated on behalf of Trump, he would withdraw all Ukraine's support. So don't believe for a moment that he's not taking bribes, because he is accepting money from Leitner, who is Hunter Biden's lobbyist. Leiter is a Balrog, if you know what I'm talking about. So, listen carefully.
It actually started up May 1st, 2003. And oddly enough, two of the contributors to how it works was Yevgeny Primakov from the KGB and Marcus Wolf from the East German Stasi. Now, these people are not exactly known for protecting their citizens. They're known for belonging to entities that oppressed their citizens. In fact, the Stasi, the East German secret police, created something called Zersetzung, and that is roughly translated, it means a decomposition of someone's life, emotional, familial, career, mentally, physically. It's a total destruction of a human being through psychological ops. Because at that point in the 80s, when they were using it, they were not employing directed energy weapons at that point, but they were driving all kinds of dissidents to suicide, which is what they were intending to do. They wanted these people to
Psychological
off
ops.
themselves so they wouldn't be blamed, and they would get
And
rid
in
of these
Connecticut, they use
inconvenient people.
Oxy.
Well, that has been taken up by the Department of Homeland Security. Fusion centers then were created in the wake of the 2001 terrorist attacks, and basically they were for gathering intelligence and surveillance and sharing it among law enforcement agencies. They wanted the DEA, the NSA, the CIA, the FBI to share information with the local police, sheriff's department, et cetera, and for them to share back up the chain. So they didn't want to miss anything.
There is a case I gave to the Connecticut FBI where people are being overdosed, and the New Haven FBI is covering it up. The New Haven FBI is covering it up. Now, James Comey ran the Connecticut FBI. His brother Peter was the Clinton Foundation auditor, and Comey was in charge of the Hillary Clinton Foundation investigation and the email investigation and Benghazi and Uranium One. And what I can tell you about Uranium One, I'm not sure I can tell you, first of all, because I got people threatening me and I don't know who they are. So let's just leave it at that on that one.
Which I find rather ironic because I was at NSA for 9/11, and 2 days after it happened, I came back in and was told by another analyst who worked in a different shop that he and his team in his office had written 6 months worth of warnings about 9/11 that were squelched. by Director of NSA, General Hayden, and Deputy Director Bill Black. They were squelched. These people were told to shut the
Deputy
heck up. They
Director.
were not allowed to report it, or they would be dealt with harshly. So this man actually was in the hall crying when I walked into work. So I was rather horrified, and I waited for that information to come out and for people to get in trouble, and it never did. I didn't get the man's name, so there was really no one to go to with that information because it was hearsay at that point. 9 years later, there was another gentleman from NSA I met who told me exactly the same story. So I did pass his name to the new 9/11 Commission, and I'm hoping something can come of that. But this only shows that the whole Homeland Security police state concept was fabricated, and it cost almost 3,000 people their lives to create this police state on a false basis. So I wanted to add that because it's horrible. And the fusion centers, like I said, were supposedly created to help fuse intelligence so that people wouldn't be taken unaware again. They have now expanded to about a number of 80 throughout the United States. And as you said before, there are multiple articles through the years saying, what is it the fusion centers are doing? They're spending, millions to billions of dollars, and we're seeing nothing for it. They have identified no terrorist activity of any consequence, nothing that had any value, nothing that came about, that was true, and they certainly have stopped no terrorist attacks whatsoever. So
What they are doing in New York is known, and you can look at the arrests they've been making in Suffolk, New York. The DA, the mayor, the police chief, they're all in Danbury Correctional, and they are accused of horrific things.
what they did was they started to include crimes and nefarious threats or nebulous threats, claiming people were criminals so that they needed to investigate them. So they would write up something and send it to the FISA court, get a surveillance warrant, and then they would surveil the person to death. All you needed.
Surveilling the person to death. There are 2 or 3 or 4, I may be up to 6 U.S. senators surveilling people to death.
According to Barack Obama in 2013, was 2 people saying that you were this or that. You're a bank robber, you're a pedophile, whatever. All you needed was 2 people to say that and swear to it. There was no proof necessary. There was no finding out if those people perhaps had an ulterior motive. Did they have a
ulterior motive? Election fraud.
Grudge? Did your daughter beat out somebody else's daughter for high school, queen or something like that? So they never investigated that. They just let almost anything roll, and they would take it to the FISA court, lie to the FISA court.
Richard Blumenthal in 2013, with 18 Democrats, changed the FISA rules. No Republicans played any role in him personally changing the FISA court rules to guarantee that they would get away with what they were doing.
I should go back and say that there was a lawsuit that found out that once you ask the fusion center to target someone, they put in a request to the main fusion center, which I'm not sure which one that is. It could very well be the DC one, but I'm not sure. But you can put in a request for a false dossier to be written up on the person and given to the fusion center nearest that person. They take it to their civilian vigilantes, InfraGard and others, and they actually use some crime gangs. They use people from criminal gangs.
Criminal gangs. So what happened with Kevin Sutherland?
They take it to them and say, okay, this is a person we're going to be stalking and harassing 24/7. This is the supposed crime. Um, and of course, the excuse is, we have this is social justice because we just can't.
So the state police in Connecticut are doing exactly this. Exactly this. Telling judges that judges are being threatened by me. I never threatened Judge White. There is no warrant for my arrest from Judge White. Yet, multiple state troopers, multiple judicial marshals, multiple narcotic cops are telling judges that I am a domestic terrorist. I am not. They robbed me of my brokerage firm, and they used Judge Adams to do it. Judge Provader is in on it. Judge Heller is in on it. Judge Jacobs is in on it. Judge McShane is in on it. Judge Reed is in on it. Judge Meyer is in on it. The federal courts are in on it too. Judge Comerford is in on it. Judge Kremrich is in on it. Judge Blowy is in on it. Judge Clark is doubly in on it. Doubly in on it. I'm saying that in Connecticut, they use judges who deny protective orders. The last 7 protective orders against the Ahuja brothers were denied. The last 7. The Ahuja brothers are claiming that they bought various judges, prosecutors, elected officials, district attorneys, and all types of nonsense. And one of them was caught. Yes, Michael was caught with $18 million in his trunk. And what was he accused of? Bribing police officers from Texas to Connecticut who were oxy pushers, $300,000 each. I'll give you $300,000 if you spring this oxy pusher from federal prison. Here's a suit and tie for him to wear when you spring him from the federal prison. Okay? You understand? We can go into detail if you like. But right now, I want to get through this video so that it's not that long.
Can't quite get the evidence we need to actually charge the person and lock them up. So we're just going to destroy them this way. So they have a never-ending investigation, which actually includes not only 24/7 harassment, but it can include slitting your tires, arranging car accidents, murdering or stealing your pets.
They murdered my French bulldog. Okay? They murdered my French bulldog. Okay? So, the case in New York that we are working on deserves your undivided attention because the people in New York are saying that single Catholic mothers were targeted with car accidents, 50 of them, 50. Only 2 of them are still alive. 48 are dead. So, where do you go from here? Well, You can try to make the judge give you a grand jury. But Connecticut did away with grand juries. They took your 25th Amendment away. You can't arrest a judge in Connecticut. They took away the 25th Amendment in Connecticut. Then they gave the judges ownership of the mortgage mills. Ownership of the mortgage mills. Falsifying documents, falsifying EMAP. I know over 50 people who were targeted. My friend Paul just lost his $3.5 million home a year ago. My friend Andrew lost his $3.5 million home. So they are targeting $3.5 million homes. It's easier to steal $1 million. It's the same amount of work to steal a $300,000 home as a $3.5 million home. They are looking for homes to steal, and they are stealing them, folks. And we have complained to everyone, and that doesn't seem to matter, not in the state of Corrupticut. So let's proceed. I may want to. This lady's speaking for 19 minutes so far out of an hour, so maybe we should
sabotaging your car so that you have to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on car repair, going to your job and telling your boss that you're a horrible person, you're a psychopath, you're a pedophile, blah blah blah. He needs to fire you.
That's what Detective Maloney did to me. That is what Detective Maloney did to me. Now, he's been running an investigation since 2008 on $50 million that was stolen, 1,200 cashed stolen checks, and they don't have the banking records? So he called up Darien, Connecticut, Norwalk, Connecticut, called Darien, Connecticut, and Stamford, Connecticut. Good thing I keep records all over the place, because we received a threat not too long ago that I'm not going in witness protection, folks. We're going to put these dudes in jail, and we're going to get to the bottom of a few things that are of national security interest. Why is Connecticut selling sniper rifles to the Libyan army? Why was the first attorney murdered? What happened to the second attorney found dead? What happened to the third attorney that died? And who's next on the list? The guy is panicking, as he should be, because there's no stopping these people. So let's end it here and document it and share it today, and share it until we get 1 million views. Have a great day. If I have to share this thing 1 million times, I will do it. I will pay to share it.